Okay, so this picture, I'm going to elaborate on it. Not really. Well, I guess there's some explaining to do. This is Rice.
And Ghost.
This is Masterpieces Gaming Theater. This is MGT Cast. MGT Cast. This is the second one where we're going straight. We're going straight into the next ones, bud. Like,
Oh
not
yeah.
no waits, bud. No waits.
No waits
No
whatsoever.
waiting rooms in this bitch. We're going
All
straight through the
the
line.
all the go, none the wait.
None to wait. So Ghost doesn't know what the picture is, doesn't know what the background is. I kept most, if not all, of the backgrounds for MGT Cast. I will say this though, in Pixar list number 3, video number 3, I found out that there is an MGT Cast missing because YouTube let me know that there
Oh.
was one missing from our playlist, and for whatever reason, whatever number it was, I think it was like in the low 30s.
Yeah.
It's missing. It's gone. I don't know what it
Weird.
is. I don't have the picture for it. It is literal anomaly. The only reason why I know it's gone is because when I added new ones to the list, at the
Yeah.
very top it said one video has been removed, and I go, what?
Interesting.
And to this day, it nags my brain whenever I think about it. What
You're
the
like,
hell?
where is it?
Where is it? Where is this goddamn fucking video? What was it? What was it? It's bothering me so much because it's become important to me, the fact that like it's gone.
Right.
And it makes me feel bad.
And so what is it?
Dude, I really don't know.
So there's like no idea.
None. Zero.
Man. All
Zero
right.
idea. I think the only clue I could ever have is if I sit and I listen to every MGT cast up until current. Like if I listen to the ones in between, I might be able to figure it out. But to
Yeah.
this day, I do not know. And it bothers the ever living shit out of me. But
Seems
anyway,
like it would.
but anyway,
But we're here now.
we're here now. So the subject I got, because he doesn't even know what the subject is. So this is more. This has got a subject. We're going to shoot. We're going to shoot the breeze a bit.
Yeah.
And we talked about. We talked a little bit. We touched a little bit on anime back in the last video,
Yeah.
during the Pixar video, and I did when we did one with the same picture as this one. It's gotten the caption is to anime haters. You're lucky it's censored.
Right.
It's not necessarily to anime haters. I kind of just did it because um, it goes in line with what like time period thing. So it's when was your first exposure to anime? It was the first thing you seen, right? So you
Right.
you mentioned something in the last video. We'll get to that. But my time being an otaku back when I was younger was really kind of hard because again there wasn't any streaming services back then, like high
Right.
school, middle school. YouTube was almost barely a thing at that point. Um, and I don't I don't hate to say this because I still feel this way. I still feel this way about this, and a way people feel about video games now is that you people are fucking posers. All right, so
You people are fucking
I hate to be
posers, bro.
I hate to be that guy, but like they
Yeah.
because I was the person I was it was one of those things where like in high school, like you had all those guys who were like, oh, video games, bro, you don't like to go outside. Like, bro,
Yeah.
all you do outside, bro, is hang with your friends, bro, and you just do stupid shit. Like, you say that I say that like it's a bad thing, but when I was a child, it real legitimately was.
Yeah. It was.
I was scared of my mother, and I continue to be scared of my mother even now. My mother's an Asian, all right. Some of you people will hear these funny ass stories, some horror stories about Asian mothers, and I can corroborate some of this shit is true.
Right. It's
I
like,
can't.
yo, there's some shit.
I don't have 100% experience because I'm not full Asian. I'm only about half. And
Right.
two, like, yes, Asian mothers are as hard on their children as they sound. So yes, and when it comes to going out and doing stupid shit, no, no, thank you. Um, and it's gonna sound nerdy, but video games was my anti-drug. So you yourself, sir, you are a recreational like marijuana smoker, and
Yeah,
yeah, I respect the fact that you don't go about it as if you like you're like trying to hide it. You know what I mean? You're really open about
yeah,
it, and you're not acting like it's some secret. Like you're not trying to act like a cool guy. You were kind of just you do your thing, and that's what I love about you. You do your thing.
yeah. That's kind of
See,
always
and here's the
that's
thing:
always
it's like
kind of been my MO.
me and you grew up in the era where playing video games and like let's just be honest, like watching like anime and stuff, like it's it in a lot of those regular people circles, it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And now you get those same people that were straight up haters, and now they're straight up posers now.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, oh, video games, bro. Yeah, bro. I play. I put. I'm fucking. I'm legit at this game, bro. Like, yeah, you weren't nearly as legit when we were kids, bro. I'm let you know that right
Right.
now. And to be honest with you, like, I can't really say that about my friends. A lot of my friends, you included, like, we stick to our guns, but we stick to our
Yeah.
guns, and that's pretty much how we all bonded. This is how we became friends in the first place.
Yeah.
Like our love of like hell. I met Aaron. I met Aaron like in fucking sixth grade,
Right.
and I knew him since like I knew him and knew of him since third grade. So like that was we didn't really connect on a personal level until sixth grade. Like
Right.
our love of video games and in turn Final Fantasy VII. Like it was again I can't really call all my true friends posers, and some people would be like true friends, oh true friends, but whatever, right? So
Right.
but that's not why we're here though.
So
I felt like I had to
why are
elaborate
we
on
here?
this. I had to elaborate on this photo, not really a photo, picture, you just say photo. So we're here to talk about um our first experiences with the anime genre, right? So the anime genre is a huge market right now. It's like
Yeah.
it's literally the secondary to like the nerd stuff that we do, like right, video games,
Yeah.
PC and console gaming. Um, for me, that's been a pretty big facet of my life, like a long time. Like again, I did used to I like as accessible as it was now, it was not even nearly accessible back then. Like you get a real old man vibe going here, and we're not even really that old. We're like in our third. We're 32 years old, for God's sake.
Right.
I don't consider myself old. I only have a bad back. Let's be honest. Like
I only have a bad
my
back.
65-year-old dad has a better back than I do. Um, Personal injuries aside, right? So,
Yeah.
like we are in the age of convenience, and thus like it's more mainstream, and the thing is like I've always kind of been on and off like experience, like I've been on and off exposed to it since I was a child. So
Right.
like it's really been like, if you look back, like here I'm gonna start with mine though. Like I heard a little bit of yours, but I'll have you elaborate a little bit more later on after I get through mine. But my first
All right.
experience was when I was 8 years old. So
Okay.
don't have a good grasp on years. I'll just go from backwards. So we were both born in 1988. So
Right.
90 or 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. So 1996 was my first exposure to uh, Japanese anime. And
Okay.
so then, really for me, like the only way I knew of I could watch these were like the movie channels, right? The movie channels were
Yeah.
like king back then. Like
Oh yeah.
if you really were gonna watch something like midday, going maybe into
Stars,
nighttime,
Showtime, something like
showtime,
that.
and like,
Yeah.
or if you can or if you were trying to avoid the softcore porn, you know what I mean? and
Yeah.
and like, all right, I just had to say because it was there. It's not the
Oh,
it's not
100% of the time.
it's not the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I have to tell
Anyone.
now. now I have to tell this story because
Any kid who had Cinemax quickly found out that
that Cinemax quickly turned into Skinemax after a certain hour.
it sure enough did.
So I have to tell this story now. So we used to Aaron used to stay the night with us every weekend, and we would
Okay.
do long nights of gaming, and like we
Oh
would
yeah.
go to bed late. And so we would finally finish one night, and I turned it back to the TV, and we had we had cable in all of our rooms and stuff like that. So like we turned back to the TV, and I don't remember what I was watching before. I think it might have been like hell, it might have been League of Extraordinary Gentlemen at one point because that movie came on a whole bunch like movie channels like at that year. I don't remember what year it was, but I like that movie. But
Yeah.
I was watching something, and then we turned it back, and the last thing I was on was a cable channel, and there was softcore porn on. And like the funny thing was is that Aaron Aaron prided himself to be kind of a pure individual. Like he was,
Yeah.
for those who didn't know him, he was a religious person, and he prided himself on an overall purity, as they so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And he always said, "You set that up," and I go, "How? How did I set that up?
You
How could
set
I have
that
set that
up.
up?" Me and you, we were play me, you, my brothers, we were all playing fucking games for like fucking like 7, 6, 7 hours, and we were legitimately tired. Like, how do suddenly I set up fucking softcore porn? How does that
Right?
make sense?
Like I didn't know.
I would have had an easier time setting up a goddamn spider in the room, right?
Right.
And he was deathly afraid of spiders, which I on the other spectrum are not afraid of spiders in any shape or form. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll admit they're a bit unsettling at times, but I'm not afraid of them or anything like that. But yeah, so 8 years old, 1996, my very first exposure to anime was the film types, because I think they were more easily in production back then, although these two films were older. So like my first thing I ever saw was Akira, which I think came out in the 80s, I believe. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Akira was hard 80s. That was like 86 or 87. I want to say.
I'm going to look it up right now. Oh, 1988, so it was the year we were born.
Ah.
So I have an overall affinity for that, but like at the same time, it's like I was 8 years old, and whatever I was doing at like fucking like at that late at night watching fucking movie channels, and then having Akira on and just watching it all the way through,
Hmm.
like really, like it really struck a chord for me. It was like let's get past all the gore, like all the intense gore for a second here, and just it's it's really
That movie was kind of weird
it
though.
was it
Like,
was really weird. I think what it was is that I think that's what stuck me was the fact that like we were talking about psychics and stuff, right? Like fucking
yeah,
Tetsuo was like a goddamn psychic, right? And like and all kinds of weird shit was going on. Like his
yeah,
guts spilling out, and like him like trying to shovel his guts back into his body. Him seeing
yeah.
shit, and then like eventually him coming to like, you know, coming to
Come
terms with
to
his powers, and then suddenly he goes on this fucking rampage, right?
yeah, murdering people,
8 years old, I'm watching a dude go on fucking mass psychic murder,
just rampaging through the city.
blood, guts everywhere, right? By
Yeah,
myself, everyone's sleeping. Like, I was just so amazed how like how this movie even is. I was like, I don't even really know what I didn't really even know what to say. Let's be honest with you. Let's be honest for a second. Like, what the actual fuck am I watching? I didn't even know. I didn't know until years later that's what it was. Like, again, it's like one of those things where it's like, whoa, watch what your children watch. I was like, I turned out okay, but it was one of those things. Again, I was scared of my mom. Anyway, um, Like
Right.
it was just wildly like insane. And like maybe like a year later, I got into I saw the original Ghost in the Shell, like when I was 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
And that one was like next level to me. Like Akira was really good, but like this one was like next level for me.
Right.
Just like it put a whole different perspective because it was like we went from psychics to fucking Cyberpunk 2077, right? Without all the
Yeah.
glitches. And like Makoto Kusanagi is like one of the most badass like females in existence.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
I just never seen something so cool in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just onward from there, right? Like those were my two first defining experiences. Made me want to know more. And unfortunately, like it was hard to know more really outside of
Yeah.
like, outside of that time period where, like again, it sounds old. It wasn't it's long it's a little bit longer than it seems, but we didn't have like legit internet till like middle school.
Yeah.
And even then it was still kind of janky, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was kind of sketchy.
And like at the same time, like the only other like anime shows I was ever really exposed to back then was when like Pokemon first made its US debut.
Yeah.
Um Sailor Moon was before that. Um I saw Sailor Moon when I was like maybe around the same time. It was like it honestly it came in on the mornings before I went to school. Like I watched Sailor
Yes.
Moon before I went to school.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I was like, if we're talking about like real talk, like first anime I saw, it was probably like Sailor Moon and like Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah, but then we didn't really know what it was back then. See that
Yeah,
that
but like outside of that, it was like nothing.
like true to form, right? So like Dragon Ball actually didn't come until like middle school for me, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
But that one is like way older than everyone realizes at first. It's like Dragon Ball Z actually started in the late '80s.
Yeah.
Like
But we didn't really get it until
no,
like
no, we didn't get it.
late
Well,
2000s.
I mean,
No, like
really before everyone really started catching
late
on.
90s.
Let's see. I'm gonna see when Dragon Ball Z. So when did the very first English episode air in America? Where are you? 1996 was the very first episode of Dragon Ball's is Dragon Ball's dub. It was 1996 basically. Can I get the there we go. This might give me a better idea. Oh yeah, so English air date for episode 1, uh the arrival of Raditz, uh
Hmm.
or Mini Goku is an overpowered boy. I am Gohan slash arrival of Raditz, new threat. September 13th, 1996.
96. Okay.
April Original air date was April 26th, 1989.
My God.
Like we were not even a year old yet. I mean, I wasn't a
Yeah.
year old yet.
Yeah.
Um, that's crazy. You think about that. Like Dragon Ball Z is literally only a little bit older than we are. And
Yeah. Like, but like, it always felt like I'd never heard of it until.
oh no, I exactly know what you mean. It's
Yeah.
it's like that too because it's like for me there was the Saturday morning cartoons also because like when I was in like middle school, high school, like they did have some anime on those ones. They had Digimon and stuff,
Yeah.
and then you had the Toonami run and all that other stuff. So like that's the crazy thing. So like for you, like if you're thinking about like your first experiences, you would say Sailor Moon is yours then.
Yeah. If we were talking about like just dead ass, what like the final things were like, because it was like I had to have watched because like at least Pokemon, right?
Yeah, because that was
Would've-
'98 though.
Yeah, but, like I hadn't discovered Toonami and stuff like until I was like maybe 13.
Maybe I think that's hold on. I think that might have been like um
Because like yeah, obviously like Pokemon and stuff like
2012.
that. That's when Toonami came out or started.
Hold on. Yeah, launched May 26, 2012. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier than that.
So like that's when I started watching like Trigun and stuff like that. But that's like when I understood like what anime was.
Okay. So for me, I didn't really start understanding what anime was. You know what? Probably yeah, probably until Toonami for me as well. Like I didn't really understand what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
until around then, and then I really knew after that point, like how different all of this stuff was to like all the American stuff that was out. But then I did still watch the American stuff because I enjoyed the stuff we grew up watching. Not to say
Yeah.
that there isn't any gems hidden in the rough for the stuff that we have now. Like there's some
Right.
stuff that's kind of cool and like all that
There's
other
some good
stuff.
stuff out there right
Oh no,
now.
for sure. And then for me it was just like it was a growing constant. Watch like once the internet became um more in place, like
Yeah.
it was a little bit easier here and there to find it. Although there wasn't like any real one good place to watch it except for what you had on TV at the time. And then they had the manga stuff, but I was never really into reading, so that was already not going to be a thing for me. It is now, but like I that's because like during certain downtimes like I only have my phone, and then like when I don't have like headphones or whatever, like I just read manga. But
Yeah.
that didn't come into its own until later on. And it's not that like for example like My Hero Academia for example, I don't read manga because of that. Like I don't even think I'm reading anything that's like super mainstream right now. Well,
Yeah.
actually, the only thing that I'm reading that's slightly mainstream. Hold on, I gotta look it up. I have to look go into my phone what I'm reading. Um, let's see. Like the only thing that I'm really reading that's even remotely mainstream is well, actually, there's a few, but then there's I think the most popular one on the ones that I'm reading is that time I was reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah.
That think that's the only one that I'm reading that's even remotely mainstream. Like the most popular out of all the ones that I'm reading, at least to me. Um, but yeah, like, but then like for me, like, and then from there it just kind of took hold. You know what I mean? That became something that I was just all very interested in and what I like watching. Like I can't sit and watch like primetime TV really that much anymore. Like
Yeah.
for like
Who really
sitcoms and
watch
stuff like
like
that.
watching primetime TV is weird now though, right? Because like who still has cable?
I mean, we do.
Really?
My parents watch cable
All right.
because they still have to be on all their shows, and for them like they were we were using we were actually PlayStation View like subscribers.
Really?
Yeah, and then like my parents knew how to use that thing really well, and then when they shut down, we had to figure out something. But then they didn't like all the other ones like YouTube TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So eventually they were just like whatever, we're just gonna get cable again. Um, but yeah, I mean, for like outside of that though, uh, like like I pretty much stuck in, and then I really found what my like what a lot of my early favorites were really like. Again, like Clanad is like one of my favorite anime of all time, but it's like probably number one. But like a lot of my early favorites I saw on TV, right? Like
Yeah.
say Sailor Moon, Pokemon, like Digimon, Um, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, uh, like Gundam, like
All that stuff.
all those like a lot of my like preteen and teenage like childhood was like that. And then and then the Adult Swim stuff that they started showing later on, Cowboy Bebop, fucking like God, like Inuyasha, like all that other stuff. It's just it's come so far, and now it's super accessible, and I don't ever really run out of things to watch, which is fine, like which is cool, like, and I too I follow it like all the way up until now, like since I was 8 years old, like I've been trying my like I was trying my best at the beginning, but now I don't struggle at all to
Yeah.
find what to watch. Like for me, I follow season to season basis, so I'm always watching something new.
Yeah. I go through spurts of watching anime. Like I'll watch it in like chunks. Like I'll find like an anime and then I'll usually watch like 2 or 3 seasons of it of a show. And then like I kind of satiate like my my anime need for usually like a good little bit, and then I'll stumble across something and then start watching like, and then I'll go on like a 6 month kick where I just watch a shit ton of anime. It's a weird system.
And I think and then it got to the point where you were asking me, there was some cool stuff, and I just mentioned the cool stuff now and again.
Yeah,
Um, for
and I
me,
do
like,
like I really appreciate that too because it's like I don't know like a lot about anime, but like I don't think you've ever steered me wrong
yeah,
on a show.
I've had a few people say that, and I feel like sometimes I feel like I have to do a little bit of convincing because I don't actually, you know what, I don't think I have to do that much steering because I only really choose what I think is really cool. Like, right, like I don't like, for example, there is an anime called High School of the Dead, and I thought it was really cool, right? But I could never recommend that to anyone. And Davari says that he actually had his parents sit down and watch that one, and I don't understand that. That's wild to me.
That's crazy.
And that show's mad fucking mad disproportionate female body, like
Yeah,
fucking fan service out of the straight up asshole, mixed in with zombies and like tropes, and like I'm like I liked it, but it's see, for me, I feel like I'm pretty level headed when it comes to that stuff, and it's just like some people don't understand it. Some people may not understand that, like when they hear me say that, but it's like, dude, I am not a hater to the point where like I go on like message boards. I don't even I don't even I when I look for like the only thing I really search for is like I look for news and stuff like that, see what's going on in in the realm outside of what I know. Like voice actors and stuff like that. I'm still not huge like on like voice actors like that. That's still like a thing that I struggle with now. It's like, who's your
yeah,
favorite voice actor? I was like, I don't fucking know, bro. Like I just watch the shit, right? So it's like you got all those people that I go like, ah, bro, there's nothing good. There's nothing good this season. Like I've caught Davari fucking saying that shit.
wow.
He's like, bro, there's not any good anime this season. I was like, bro, this is what happened. I was like, bro, you can't say that. Like, and I don't even give him a chance to say like, why do you say that? I say you can't say that because you watch. Let's give for a shoot. There's 30 shows, right? Let's say there's 30 shows per season. This motherfucker watches like 2 shows, and and if he because he does cruise our channel from time to time, and if he does
Yeah,
hear this, I might be exaggerating the number a little bit, but like going between 2 and 5 shows per season, that's not a justification of whether or not a season is good or not.
right.
Like I have at my peak, right? I'm not saying like this is gonna sound like I'm old, like old shit, like old versus young shit, but like at my peak of
Yeah,
like sitting down and like having nothing to do but watch this, I have maybe cut out like I've cut out a swath and like maybe watched about 80% of the shows on one season.
Damn.
And let's say for a shoot it's actually 30 shows. So to, see this and then this is what I don't understand about some people going, I can't watch that because I have these other shows to watch. But I was like, but here's me watching fucking 20 shows a season, right? I for me, I somehow make it my priority to do certain weird things like that.
Right.
And I can't even really hate anything either, though. That's the problem. I don't. No, that's not a problem. That's a good thing. Why am I like discounting my why am I discounting this stuff like it's a negative? No. The fact that I can like just about anything is not a bad trait. Cuz you always got these kids on there be like,
Yeah.
"Man, they don't know what like these guys who release anime now don't know what anime is." I was like, "Bro, you're like 10 years old, bro. Calm down." And I
Yeah,
use
and
that
like, but like the ability to enjoy everything does not mean that like your opinion is less valid.
no, for sure, cuz this is how I can rope you in properly,
Yeah.
right? It's just so I could figure out how I could tailor your experience, right?
Right.
And you know Buddy, right? Buddy
Yeah.
considers me one of his best anime sources because he is the type of person that he's older than us, right? He's like I think he's going into his 40s now, I think. Um he might be, I don't really remember, but uh he's also said I've never steered him wrong.
Yeah.
And like cuz he goes, "You know my personality. You just go ahead and you pick the shit." And I go, "Yeah. I mean, that's just what I do. I pick shit for myself."
Right.
And I pick and choose, and some of the stuff I really enjoy are really not that good though. Let's be honest.
You're like, but that's okay.
But that's okay because I like it, right? So let me give you an example, right?
Yeah.
Of a show that's honestly not good. So
Honestly, not good. I love it.
I am a fan of. I'm gonna say it for how it is. Isekai trash, right? Because
Hmm.
that's totally what's flooding the meta right now for anime, and I'm gonna use that word weirdly. That's like that's part of the anime meta right now is isekai, which is going into another world, whether or not you died and been reincarnated, or suddenly God plucks you and puts you there, or you find like a fucking portal somewhere, and whatever reason you go, you know what, I think I'm gonna step through that portal, or one day you wake up in another world, right? So
That's kind of crazy.
there's this one. It's called In Another World with My Smartphone. That is the English that's the English title for the show. I'm not even gonna attempt to say what the Japanese name is. Not that I have it on hand. Let's be honest.
Right? You're like, I'm not even gonna. But like, sometimes you just gotta know when to fold them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you
I'm not getting that.
you fold the game and everything's good, right? So
Snap the
um
disc.
yeah, so it's literally dumb. Like, right? So this dude, God accidentally kills him.
Rip.
Rip, right? Rip the dream, as they say.
Oh,
Uh,
for sure.
so he has this whole convo with God. They're sitting at a table having tea, right?
Mhm.
And he's over there like apologizing for killing him accidentally. And the main character, he's not really hurt over it. He's like, you know what? It's all right, God. Like we're cool, right? And he goes, I can't. He goes, I can't revive you in your world, but I can revive you. I can move you to another world.
Right.
And then he goes like, yeah, so you're gonna get you like you want to bring someone with you? He's like, yeah, I'll bring my phone with me. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Your battery would be charged by magic, and you have connection to the internet. You just can't you can see what's happening in your world, but you cannot
Can't
communicate
reach
back.
out.
Yeah. He was like, all
That's
right, fine,
kind of
cool.
crazy.
So he has GPS in that new world. You can use GPS. Okay, go figure.
Fair enough.
God gives him all the shebang, so he can use any kind of magic he wants. By seeing it once. Even like types of magic that's like unique to a person, right? So
Okay.
let's see if there's one that. Oh, so there's this one that he uses, right? So he goes through a book of known unique magic,
Hmm.
and one of the characters family members is sick, and he goes to them, and then like he uses that magic and he heals like her affliction. He has like a cure all spell. And so basically, he
Okay.
could use basically whatever spell he wants with no like really with no repercussions. Like, oh, there's one. So one of the girls he meets, she has the ability to uh, puppet inanimate objects with magic. She can make it. She can give it life, and it can move around on its own. She can have conversations with it. It doesn't talk back, but like there's this teddy
Right.
bear, right? And the teddy bear moves on its own, and it basically lives its own life, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, he can do the same thing. Like
That's
he
pretty
he
cool.
sees her magic and he does it. It's like
That's
scripting
pretty
magic.
cool.
He can make it's scripting,
Yeah.
basically. And so basically, he's like taking all these magics. He finds out he's a master of all magics. Uh, basically can't be won against in battle.
Yeah.
Uh, basically uses his phone and his magic his known magics, and he creates a gun, and he carries this gun as his primary. It's actually a gun sword, but
That's pretty
like,
lit.
yeah, he makes this stuff. And not to mention, there's another trope that I'm not hugely.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Why are you still there?
Yeah. I kind of. It went funky for a second. I
Oh,
was like,
okay, yeah.
oh.
So like the trope that I'm not very fond of is harems, but
Right.
they're there, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's another trope, and like the guy's got like fucking like, let's see, one. I'm gonna think about blonde haired girl, two like lavender colored haired girls. They're twin sisters. Weirdly enough,
Right.
um, the Asian trope girl who's like a samurai. The
Okay. Yeah.
this one like fairy elf lady. This girl who's almost like a robot construct who's like a maid. I don't know if he like is like I don't know if she's considered part of the harem. But anyway, like you learn later on in like the ending cut for the show that he has like ends up having like 9 wives or some shit like that.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, right. It's the most ridiculous thing I like when you think about it. Like there are shows where like the protagonist is very encompassing in power and everything like that, isekai style. But this show is just dumb. Like, oh yeah, okay. Like, like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I just don't know. This is just, it sounds okay from the way I'm explaining it, but if you watch, you go, oh yeah, okay. Like, like, oh my god, dude, like I can't. But it's just like, but I sat there and I watched it. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the next episode. Like that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I already don't think this show is actually good, but I'll stick around.
I'll stick around. I'll check it out.
Yeah, yeah, I'll see how it ends, right? And he ends
If
up,
it's
and
if it's
apparently he has
fun.
like in the future he's supposed to have like 9 wives or some shit. And I'm like, okay, bud.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that's really interesting though is I don't really remember what the title is, but it's currently in the second season. I think it's episode 2 was either yesterday or today.
Yeah.
Um, so there's this guy. He's like a nerd, right? He's like really smart.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's really smart. This is not isekai though. This one's kind of sort of slice of life slash like romantic comedy slash, although it's a harem.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that trope again. Now here's the thing: all the girls in that like haremish situation,
Yeah.
what's They're all sisters, but what's twins but five?
It's
Quintuplet?
twins. Yeah,
So quintuplets.
quintuplets.
It's five girls. They're all sisters, quintuplets. And here's the thing: he meets one of them when he's a kid, and he like falls in love with one of them.
Yeah.
The fucked up part is like he has a picture of one of them, but as children, they all looked exactly the same. They had the same hairdo. The same hairdo.
That's weird.
And now as they're older in high school, they all have different hairdos. They all dress differently. They all have different personalities.
Interesting.
But as children, they acted and look exactly the same. The funny thing was is that he doesn't know that he's hanging out with the girl like he fell in love with. Like one of
Right.
them is the girl. And he has a picture of her. It's funny as hell. It's like I'm like, dude, kidding me?
What is
My stomach hurts.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It's interesting, to
oh
say the
god.
least.
Oh god, that's I'm just like, like besides video games, this is like my thing, you know?
Right?
I don't think I could ever really stop watching it, and then it's just like it's become more of too. It's like my family has started to get into more watching a few like my sister. Well, the oldest of my two sisters. They're more of watching watching them like what the family watches my brother and his wife and his two daughters. Like they watch My Hero Academia, for example. Like we
Yeah.
all watch it and then we all talk about it and stuff like that. Like that's sort of like the stuff that we're doing. Like my youngest sister has uh started to like branch out. It's like for a
Right.
while she like watched one or two shows and she kind of just stuck. She kind of just where she was at. But then she's starting to expand, which is nice. Like she's starting to watch other things. Like she started watching like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, for example. Like that's something I'd never seen, and that's like one of the weird ones. It's
Yeah.
like I've never seen JoJo Bizarre Adventure, and some people will go, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, never seen it." And they look at me like I'm on dope or something. It's like weird. Um, but yeah, so like but then there's those ones that like I really don't like. Like there's few that I really don't like. One of them is Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I do not understand that one. I watched all of the first season and didn't like it.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, no, oh yeah, for sure. Like I was just like, what? I mean, seeing it for how it is, it's like I just don't understand why it's so popular,
Yeah.
right? Like I get like for example, My Hero Academia, right? They're really cashing in on like the superhero trope, right?
Yeah.
But then the thing is like some people who have written articles about My Hero Academia refer to My Hero Academia is a superhero show for those who don't like superheroes. Like
That's fair.
it's easy for people who don't like the regular superhero trope to get into because it's literally kids coming to age and coming into their own as like heroes. It's like we're not following people who are established heroes. Like
Right.
you're watching them grow and see what kind of path they decide they're going to take and what kind of enemies what they end up living through like defines the kind of person they become basically.
Yeah.
And it's just that's like the big one right now. I think some people might disagree with me, but that's life, right? I feel like that one's
Yeah.
like the one of the bigger ones. The only one of the only one from the Naruto era that's still going. I call it Naruto era because that's literally what defined that era of anime.
Yeah.
Like the three big, like the big ones were like I think it was either Gintama, Toriko, or it might have been both. Gintama, Toriko, Bleach, Naruto, and then One Piece. The only one that really has footing at this point is One Piece because it's not done.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's in like 900 episodes right now.
Although it's supposed to be coming to an end, right?
He wants it to end. He just doesn't know how it's going to. Okay, so I went into when I opened my reopened my Google Chrome. When you go to a new tab and you click on the URL bar or the search bar, which is like
Yeah.
both, I click on it. Let me see if it re-pops up. Tell me why well, right now it says Prussian Blue Mystery Dateline.
What?
Okay, whatever that is.
Weird.
The Prussian Blue Mystery. When San Diego woman is who is near death arrives at an emergency room, FBI and law enforcement are called in to solve a medical mystery and a horrific crime. Okay. Um let's see what One Piece is currently at right now. One Piece. Uh 954 episodes. Anyway, weird. Well, bro, my I don't know why, but my stomach is just hurting right now.
Yeah.
I might have to call it. I might have to call for this one.
Oh no. All right.
I
There's
know
some good anime talk in there
I
though.
know I spent a lot of time talking.
That's fine.
I mean, this is really just how I get into myself now at this point. It makes you, it may, it, you know, and too. If I give any, and if I, and if I can inspire people to just loosen up a little bit, that would be
Loosen
cool.
up. Pick up some anime. Enjoy what you enjoy. Don't listen to the internet. Try stuff out. That's my biggest thing with anime. Is like maybe you should just like try different animes. Like,
Oh, that by the way,
try
I have to say
stuff
this
out
out loud. The fuck is that show again? Bofuri is getting a second season.
there. Ooh.
I don't know when though. That's the only thing. I'll
Yeah.
double back on you and see what we're looking at for possibilities here. But if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment on the video.
Hit all the buttons.
Hit all the buttons. We are gonna go rafting. This is Rice. That's Ghost.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
This is Masterpiece Gaming Theater.
Escape
MGT
theater.
Cast. We'll
I'm
see you on the
tripping,
next one
bro.
once I figure out what we'll figure out what the
We'll
next
figure
episode
something
is. It's
out.
gonna be fun. Peace.